Item 510 is a contract with Capstone Digital to provide the myON reader for all students in Hillsborough County. Ms. Hancock.
Yes. Madam Chair, school board members, Superintendent Elia, and staff, taking into consideration a recent study out of the University of Nevada, Reno, which shows that the difference between being raised in a home with a 500-book library has as great an effect on the level of education a child will attain as having parents who are barely literate compared to having parents who have a university education. Having as few as 20 books in the home still has a significant impact on propelling a child to higher levels of education. And the more books you add, the greater the benefit. What if I told you that for $5 to $6 per student, we could place 2,000 books in every elementary and middle school media center? And what if I told you that for no additional cost, we could place that same library into every classroom? And what if you could also place that same library into every student's home? And what if every community center, after-school site, VPK provider, and virtual school home could also have that same library? This project could potentially reach 243,000 children in Hillsborough County, birth to grade 8. The agenda item before you represents a truly unique opportunity and a great partnership with our community agencies, and you just met some of them: the Children's Board, United Way, the Public Library, Tampa Housing Authority, the Early Learning Coalition, and the Board of County Commissioners Head Start, that will impact literacy in our county in a huge way. When will this happen in our schools? The answer would be almost immediately. Our Title I elementary schools are currently still able to access myON, even though our original agreement with Capstone ended at the end of last school year. Bringing on other elementary schools and middle schools will take very little effort because of the infrastructure that's already there. Support is important. Capstone provides extensive professional development opportunities both face-to-face and online. In addition, Capstone will be employing a local project manager that will coordinate with all the agencies to plan, market, train, and implement this project. They will also work to build capacity, upload data, set up accounts, monitor, and provide regular reports and stakeholder reviews. Communication is also important. With the use of myON in our Title I schools and the Capstone Interactive Library this past summer, most of our elementary schools are very familiar with this product. Some communication strategies would include press releases, a Hillsborough-specific myON webpage, myON links on our school web pages, parent link calls, flyers, posters, literacy events, host site outreach, and also through the Children's Board Communication Department, as was the past summer, billboards, PSAs, and other marketing strategies. And of course, the most important piece is to monitor and evaluate. While the myON reader is at basic level simply an incredible digital library, there are various ways that the data is captured and can be reported. Through frequent benchmark assessments, which are fun, frequent, and brief, myON measures progress as students read. Extensive data reports will be available that can track reading ability and growth over time. They can forecast future reading ability, track the amount of time spent reading, and also the number of books and pages read, and also the comprehension of book content. Even better words to describe the impact of this item would come from those who have used myON, our stakeholders. And at this time, I'd like for John Milburn to just share a few things with you. He is our elementary media supervisor.
Just a couple comments on myON from some of our users from last year. This is from a media specialist at one of our ESE centers. myON has helped our students tremendously. I have a student who would sit in front of the computer and do nothing, not even look at the screen. I've recently put her on a touch screen and began using myON exclusively, and she is really responding. She has her favorite books, and she actually listens. She looks at the screen and interacts with the book. It's been amazing for her. This is from a parent. My son's a second grader, and he absolutely loves myON. Until this year, he had not been a big reader on his own. He came home and asked me to go on myON all on his own. He loved following along and listening to the stories. There was a lot of variety, and this was exciting to him. I noticed a definite positive trend in his desire to read after using this library. He started asking for new books and requesting trips to the bookstore instead of the toy store. He's quickly moved from reading storybooks to chapter books, and I feel like myON was instrumental in that. And this comes from a teacher who teaches ELL students. The myON program is extremely important to my ELL students. I totally feel that it's an important program. It increases their vocabulary, helps them hear books in English in an otherwise Spanish-speaking home, and helps to keep them reading. For my regular ed students, it's a chance to read in a different format, and I used it this year to complete their independent reading at home. And finally, our capstone rep reported this from last night in the grocery store. She ran into a parent, and this parent recognized her as the myON lady, and she wanted to tell me how much that had changed her students' reading. And I was sharing with her about this community project, and she was literally in tears. She said, "That makes my heart feel so good about our community."